All right, here we are. Um, don't forget to save your steps whenever you make a change. I would highly recommend for you to either get familiar with this file save um, menu drop down or Command S, right? So on your keyboard, Command S. Um, all right, so we've made our layers, we've labeled them. Now the fun begins. Um, so as you can see, when you click on every layer, you will see the opacity. The opacity controls how transparent your layers are, okay? And as you can see, this love layer, since it's on top, you can see through origami, like this is closed, but you can see how it overlaps, okay? Now you can actually adjust the opacity of all of your layers, and let's say if you wanted to, you can reorder them, but you could make it so they're all a little bit transparent and they show through to the layer that isn't transparent. So leaves is at 100%. So you can only see leaves, right? You can turn off the layers you don't need. So not all the layers need to be on. If you decide to, you can rearrange them. So there's the opacity of things. Another really cool thing is right here. If you go right next to opacity is normal is the default, but these are your layer effects. And if you hover over them, you will see the different effect that it might have in your document. So right now I have the opacity lower, so I'm going to make it 100%. And this will allow me to for this layer to do a layer effect. They all do different things depending on the color of the layer underneath it and the color of the layer itself. So it's ever changing. So I'm going to choose multiply for now. And I'm actually going to bring my plant layer up to the front. You can see it's at 100% opacity. It's at normal, but if I wanted to, kind of like that color burn, I'm going to apply a layer effect, and it kind of allows you to create some kind of different composition. If I want to like how the colors kind of blend into each other, if I want to move that plant down, image down, I can. I'm going to turn love off really quick. I'm going to go to my origami layer. I want to make it a little bit bigger. So I'll go to Edit, Free Transform. Kind of really like how this origami circle design is showing through. Now you can make things larger and you can make things smaller. You can rotate things, right? I'm gonna hit return to apply it. My circles, oops, cancel. There's my circles. I'm going to have this multiply. I'm going to make it larger. So the keystroke for free transform is Command T. For those of you who like to use shortcuts. But I'm also going to see about moving my illustration up. Right now it's like 50% opacity. I actually want to something about this one. Hard mix that I like. Origami. Do you see how if I move one layer, it affects the others? It's good for you to know, for you to plan for it. This is the floor layer. Haven't really touched it since I first imported it. I'm gonna move it around. Kind of see what it does. And then my leaves layer. So I'm going to rotate that. Actually, I'm going to go to Edit Free Transform. So I can rotate it. And then I'm going to find a layer effect that I like. I'm going to save where I am. So the question always comes up, well, like obviously we see the mark of rectangles, right, from my copying and pasting. Well, the next thing I want to show you is a thing called masks. So you have a couple options of how to hide or erase something. You can erase something with your eraser tool. So I would highly recommend for you to kind of play around with your tools. You can make the brush, once you select your eraser, you can go hit the left bracket or right bracket to make your brush larger or smaller. And you see how like the intensity of my erasing is controlled by this, the opacity. So if I want to erase it very quickly, so it's a harsh line, I can put 100. Or if I want to make it so it fades in and out, I'll make it a lower percentage. Okay. Start kind of playing with this. And then I'm going to click through to see what layers are actually doing what. Okay. So you can erase, and then you can do a thing, it's called masking. Okay. So I'm going to pick one of these. I don't think you can see the floor. Love. I'm going to put love on top. I'm going to make it normal. I'm going to make the opacity 100 so you can see it clearly. To mask is to actually erase something, but you're actually able to adjust. And you don't have to like erase it forever. You can actually make things appear or reappear. So to make a mask, you're going to select the layer love right here. Third little toolbar in, if you hover over, it says add layer mask. Select that, and this is the mask. This is your image, okay? Um, Make sure you are on your mask, and what you're going to do is you're going to pick your brush, okay? And painting on a mask with black ink makes things go away, so it becomes hidden. So you can do this until this whole object disappears. If you paint with white, so you can swap that, you make everything reappear. So that's why masks are really cool, because it's like an eraser, but it's not permanent. You have the option of bringing something back or making it disappear. And you can always adjust it. If you right click in it, you can actually just delete the layer mask if you change your mind, which is pretty cool. And don't forget to click on save to save your work, right? So we've looked at moving your layers up and down, the order of your layers, it affects what you're seeing. We've looked at the opacity of the layers and how you can actually adjust them. And then we've looked at layer effects. So depending on what layer effect you apply to your image, you can have different effects, and it changes depending on the colors, the image that you have in your files. Okay, so I'm gonna stop there, and in the next video we're gonna look at adding type and kind of putting this together so you can have an image collage that we will use for your assignment. All right, okay, till next time.